Hello, hello. Hi, Tinglish. How are we doing here? Oh, Logan's here? How are we doing? Hard to see things. Hold on. Okay, let's. First of all. Okay. So, first of all. Oh, let me switch this out. And there we go. So Monday, this Monday at noon, I have a new episode of the podcast coming out. Just want people to know. I talked to David and Jesse, and we talked about CokeBeCon 2. We talked about Jesse's textbook, which I am still aiming to. I'm aiming to get a copy of that to review. Um, and we talked a little bit about the Superman stuff. They created a yet another Kryptonian, and so that is all exciting. So I have sort of an exclusive interview about the Superman stuff, but they talked about a bunch of other stuff. It was wide ranging discussion. So now it has been some time since since we worked on. I want to know why I have an empty header. Um, let's actually make this a heading. And then I have to think about, is there anything else that we want to work on dialect differences for? Okay. We haven't done numerals. So let's do that today. So I think our first thing to do would be to start with the base 1 to 10 because like these ones, like we may want to have some of the dialects count differently than others. So let's go start with that. And let's do our typical, hold on a second. Yeah, I need to watch that. And we actually want to start from the elder Fey forms, as we've been doing. It's not very hard to get the #1 chat spot in my chat, Logan. At least not at this time, because there's not that many people. So let's go. Yeah, it's pretty important that we can have numerals down. Six by well. Okay, so middle Fey. And then day, dawn, dusk, and night. That's something I want to think about. The question is, do I want to get into the syntax stuff and figure that out for the whole dialect shift, the dialect split, or do I want to leave that for koineization and just say, like, I'm not worried about which dialect contributed syntax. I'm just going to, like, assume that this is the thing that won. Right? I'm a little iffy on that. So I've started reading a little bit about coinization. I would like, if anyone has materials like specifically on the formation of Koine Greek, I feel like that will help me more, because what I have found, the couple of papers I found apparently are much more concerned with, wait, day, dawn, more concerned with the a different kind of koine where people from a bunch of different dialects move into an area and their dialects mix, right? Which is not exactly what I'm aiming for here. I'm aiming for this to be a compromised dialect as a lingua franca. And that's probably going to have different challenges. Oh, see what happens here. I mean, it's the same kind of phenomenon, Tinguish. So what a koine is some kind. It's specifically about when you have dialect contact, whereas pidgins and creoles are contact between unrelated languages, usually. Um, and let's grab. So there can be some similarities. Shishi. Sishi. 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 Why is this? Why are we getting mispalatalized? That's weird. I did not know that that was a thing that can happen. Is this? TT. 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 Becomes the she. The she. Okay. I'm gonna have to think about shishi. Path. And night. So let's take a look at these differences. Okay. Oh, Todd means ta, da, da, da. Okay. Ha, he, 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 ha, he, he, ha, 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 ha. Maki, maki, ma, maki, 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 maki. Okay. Ishi, xie, xixi, 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 xi, 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 xixi, xixi, xi, xixi, xixi, xixi. Okay, interesting. Pli, plie, pie, pie, plie. Fie, 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 fie. Okay, six became fie, fie all around. Plecha, plecha, piecha, piecha, piecha. And then patu, paso, 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 path, 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 pathwa, cheba, chiva, 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 chiva. Okay, interesting. Wifa, wife, 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 wifa. Okay, actually this we had something else end up with similar. So, hello. Oh, hi, relaxing waterfalls. Yeah, you get. That's it. I have no idea. I don't know if there is an opt out or anything for that, but yeah, YouTube is giving people points. So this is the general vibe. Now let's actually go back to our numerals and let's talk about the way numbers beyond this are constructed. So let's say, okay, 11 is wifatad, wifatad, God. Wifatad. I think that one is fine to go through the whole thing and we'd end up with the same situation. So let's God. So that export that. See what happens to that given I think that this would be a situation where our mutations would be triggered, right? Hey, Aaron, how you doing? Nice to see you. Oui, fait ça. Oui, fait ça. Oui, ça. Oui, ça. Oui, ça. Oui, fait ça. Oui, fait ça. Okay. So we're gonna get the lenition thing. Um, so the way I had that is it's all the way up to 15. So let's do that for everything up to 15. Up to 14. No, up to 15, yeah. Um so that we know forms for that. So let's just go 1, 2, 3, 4. We fait ça, we fait here, we fait here, we fait wahir, we fait wahir, we fait sissier, we fait sissier, we fait plier. Okay. New laptop. Oh, okay, yeah. That's great. And I'm going to put these onto different. Um, let me make these heading 3 so that we can. We're going to go 1 to 10. We're going to have separate tables for these. 11 to 15. Mm. Oh, that's cool. So, export. We just want these ones. And you can see that this is our first sort of indication of the mutation. It's just the lenition mutation works here. So this is machie, 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 machie in the original, and now it's wachie. It's got the w now. And what is going on with this? Okay. So what happened is this is not. So why not just well, what did I have here? How did the lenition rule go here? Loses aperture value. And then I had a separate rule, nasality, not aperture, becomes sonorant. Okay. So we should have. See, that should have happened. What happens if I delete this? So that's very peculiar. So that should be plus nasality. Okay, so if I just remove the nasality here, what happens? I guess that's just what I have to do. I don't know why this rule is not working. Hmm. Just want to see. Lenition happens, and then it just doesn't. It just doesn't recognize it for some reason. I guess I'll just have to do it here. Dusk, right? Wif vachi. Wif vachi. Okay. And then we have night. And that has no problem. Why is night not having a problem? So nasal fricative denase. So the funny thing is, like my on-screen thing doesn't show your ranks on YouTube. So I have to jump into okay. No, Logan, it did not work. I'm gonna see if I'm gonna have to update my software to see if I can display those ranks on this thing. Unless I can I mean that's pretty new. Yeah. I think I'm gonna have to wait until StreamerBot updates to get those rankings sort onto my thing, huh? Logan, you just gotta keep commenting. I don't know how exactly it works. It's fine. This can work differently in the two different dialects. I don't know what's up with the way that Lexergy is working, but at least this is giving me correct forms. Okay, now here is where we start to get actually properly differentiating. So we get 16 through 19, right? Recul. Recul. That's a nice name. It might be slightly similar to Ryukyu, which is a real language family. So, not saying it's bad, but collisions happen. It's interesting. I need to know. Okay, it's not between vowels. This is why this doesn't unite. Okay. That's interesting. It's fun when you encounter the consequences of your own sound changes and didn't know that was what would happen. So, now, 16 through 19, we have something interesting going on. Because in Middle Fey, we had this 1 and 10, 5, right? Ta, tad, iwifa, pli. Right? So we had this situation where you were adding whatever number to 15. And this is where I think we would have an interesting dialect split. Where what we get, and let's jump down here and we'll create a thing. Insert a table 6 by 5. All right. 16, 17, 18, 19. And then middle fey is this. Tad iwifa pli. I'll just stick this in here for now. We could have one set, and we'll just one. One and 15 versus and it would be on the same in the same vein as this, where we get 10, 6. And this change, I think with this change could go. I think we would want the new construction to start in. Let's actually say that. And let's actually so that we get all the lenition and stuff in. I'm gonna say that night keeps the original structure. Okay. You can get up to 75 XP per hour. Does that stack? Like, as we go into the second hour, could we get people with 100 XP? That might be something to test. Yeah. Let me catch up with. Oh, so the spelling could lessen confusion with Ryukyu. Okay, yeah, I think probably. But so for one, your first R is not palatalized, whereas Ryukyu has that, and also you do have the L ending there. Ryukyu, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't see the ranks in my thing. I need to see if if an update comes out sometime soon. Okay. So, let's actually so what I'm going to do that's interesting. So we had so so we put kai we put maki we put tt and we put pli. Right now we went dad. It was 16, 17, 18, 19. E, 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 and this. Oh, hello? Oh, I did the wrong. I needed to export this. So, night follows the old construction. Ta pli, right? Hya'a pli, right? Mahi pli. Si pli. Okay. But let's do dusk and dawn and dusk. In the twilight dialects, we got these. So it's going to be at least the first one. So I think what we'll do, we'll roll a d4 for each of these. And see exactly how many went through for each of them. Okay. And somebody has gotten into my dice and dumped them all out into the drawer. Okay. Okay, so the dice cam. So let's roll for Dawn first. Okay, 2 of them. And then Dusk, 3. Okay. And Day, I'm just gonna flip. I'm just gonna say. Um, I'm just gonna do like a coin flip thing as to whether or not it has. So 1 or 2, it has none, and it's like night. 3 or 4, it actually does get 1 form. Okay, so it gets 1 new form. So new, old, old, old. So we gonna get extra complicated. This is gonna be this is going to get extra complicated. Let's go back to our notes. Okay, so what does this new, old mean? Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're going to go ahead and apply the sound changes as if this happened from the start so that I can get the right forms. But we'd have, and I'm going to leave a little space so that we can so pew. Wipa plichai plicha and wipa patu. And wait, what? Interesting. It doesn't. Lexergy doesn't care if you have spaces. So what we have here is we get one of these new forms, and then these other ones are not. Then in dawn, we don't need to worry about that. In dawn, we've got, I think we get 2. Right? Wait, we need to get the export. Right, yeah, we get 2. And then the other 2 are the old form. And then dusk, it's the most pronounced. Where we get, okay, so wait. Right, and then just one of the old forms. And so you can see the messiness that we've devised here, just to to understand what we're dealing with. Let's actually highlight these highlight these. These are innovated forms, and the rest are conservative forms. So let's actually, I'm going to type up a little thing here so I understand what we did. In the teens, we had an innovation in dusk that began to simplify the forms for 16 to 19 to 10x, where it was previously like x minus 5 and 10.5. This advances furthest in dusk, which has 3 new forms, 3 simplified forms, while dawn has 2, day has only the first one, and night did not undergo this simplification at all. It is possible that there is a dialect of dusk that actually has a full set of 10x numbers up to 19, but the prestige dialect still has that should be not that, and but the prestige dialect still has she he wifpli wifp. Okay. Just so that it can always be special and confusing. So this is going to be fun when we get to koinization. Now, going along with this, we need to jump back to our numerals. $20, $40, $50, $80. Right? So, gitwifa, chai gitwifa. Okay, so let's think about this, okay? So what we've got here and table design, I don't know why. And let's all right. Now, let's get the gitwifa, chai gitwifa. Oh, let's jump here. Okay. And we get chai gitwifa. And then we want to say so 50 is this. So what? What about your room? You go to mommy. Go to mommy. Okay. You're a good girl. You want to say hi to people? Here. You say hi for a minute. Oh, this is Dorothy. My desk is a mess. Gotta fix it. Say hi. Okay, you go up to mommy. I love you. What? What did you say? Talk to me. Talk to you in your room. Daddy's streaming. Daddy's working on things here. Yeah. Hi, Jake. How you doing? Daddy's working. Oh, okay. That is Dorothy. That's the youngest. He's always very confused as to why Daddy strings a big Ethernet cable through the room. Let's apply changes here. It's struggling. Okay. Okay. Now. Okay, you want me to talk to you in your room? And then what are we gonna do? Will you go upstairs after that? Okay, let me just say hi to you in your room. Oh, I don't know if we have those. Go upstairs to eat breakfast, okay? Have a good day. Have fun. We'll go out later. Okay, so she just wanted to point out what kind of diapers she wanted. Okay. So I need to. And then she. So here's the thing that we need to think about with this. We've got Gituifa Gituifa. Wifa I Gituifa. Sishi Gituifa. Sishi is 4. So we've got 20 is like a pair of tens, right? And then like, let me see here. 40 is, yeah, it's two pair of tens. 50 is 10 and two pairs of tens. I never decided what 30 would be then. That's because yeah, I'm sure you've been doing quite a lot of conlanging recently. Let's if that's the case, then we're gonna have, this is gonna be like wifa igit wifa, right? So, and then we can add that down here, that row down here. Right? Yes, Jake just did the relay. Right now, it is in the hands of Agmashwa. That will be coming out soon. Next week, the actual like translation portion of the relay should be complete, English, and then sometime in August we'll release all the videos because it takes time. So here's the thoughts here. Right now we have this complicated vigesimal system, right? You survived it. We've got this complicated vigesimal system. This is another case where we might do an innovation in dawn and dusk. So the question is, what exactly happens here? I think this one is going to be an all or nothing change. I think everybody's going to get Gitwifa. So let's go ahead and we'll stick these on the end. Oh, I need to have actually the wipa igitwipa gitwipa. Everybody is going to get the first one, gitwipa, right? And so let's go ahead and export. Jitsui. Why is it like that? Okay. Let's do this the correct way. Keep forgetting. I have to make sure that I have the syllable marking and everything before I apply sound changes because it's weird. So, jitsuife, 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 jitsuife. That's wonderful. Jitsuife, jitsuife. Dusk is what? Jituif fits very well with dusk. And night ends up with Jitsuifa. Jitsuifa. Oh, yeah. That has to be a thing. We had a few people that were working. So, Jitsuife, Jitsuife, Jituif, Jitsuifa, Jitsuifa. And I think Jituifa actually we can still have in everybody's. So let's actually get that one. Hagit Twife. Wow. Hagit Twife. Hagit Twife. Actually, I'm not sure about that. Hagit Twif. Hagit Twif. We might end up with some interesting things going on. And then night. Hagetwifa. Hagetwifa. It's interesting we get this r. But what's happening? What's going to happen here? So we could have a similar regularization. I think it's going to be more all or nothing. So we would end up with like 30 would end up being 30 is. So let's actually insert insert rows below so that we know, like, so 60, 70, 80, and then how did I, numerals, how do I do 90 actually? Like 90 is, yeah, wifa isi gituifa. Why did that, what? Ninety is this, right? 60 would be, oh, gituifa, I gituifa, right? Oh, this definitely needs regularization, actually. And then, no. I feel like that's already such a mouthful. I think we would actually have, even here, we would have Maki Gituifa, right? And then we have Gituifa E. Okay, so actually, this is getting so out of hand that I think that we get regularization in almost all dialects. So what I'm going to do is dawn and dusk are going to get a different system. And so we're going to end up with 310s. Right, 310 is going to get 510. 610. 710. 810. 910. And this happens for both dawn and dusk. And for day and night, I think what's going to happen is the lower numbers are going to be more likely to be conservative. We're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This, it still gets this old form here. And we're going to roll a d6 minus 1. So we're going to roll this d6. We're going to subtract 1 for each of day and night to see like how far they get these regularized forms. So VDO Ninja. Let's switch to the dice cam. It's not in the right place. So let's roll for day first. So it gets the new forms all the way down here. And we'll go with night. Oh, it gets the new forms all the way down. Okay, well. Okay. Sometimes the dice gods are not as interesting as I expect, but we can jump back to streaming the monitor. And so Wifa Igitwifa. Now, do I have Wifa Igitwifa? Okay. And this one. Wifa Igitwifa. Wifa Igitwifa. And now we need to go through and get this stuff. Get these all done. Okay, so we want 5, 10, 6, 10, 7, 10, 8, 10, 9, 10. So, well, we want the 3, 10 too, right? So, let's go ahead and so Mokti Wipa Itzi T Wipa Li Wipa Pew Wipa Lecha Wipa Hatu Wipa oh, okay. I see that I don't need this actually. And Hebe Wipa. So apply that. So we want these. Lui fait. Je lui fais. Je lui fais. Plecha. Plecha lui fait. Lui fait. Pasu lui fait. Lui fait. Riva lui fait. Now, okay, done. Let's just do these. I'm gonna go and get these first. Apply. Okay, so now let's go ahead and do our highlighting so we know what we're doing here. So the blue is all new forms, new regularized forms. The yellow is old forms. So we see day and night preserve some more of the original vigesimal system, but it's very like vestigial anyway. Dawn and dusk are most innovative. They still have these few vestigial forms, but we end up with this complete paradigm change in all dialects. And that's workable. So innovations led to the shedding of most of the original vigesimal forms in favor of decimal constructions. Day and night preserve the vigesimal version of 30, while all dialects preserve the original terms for 20 and 40, with day and night preserving the vigesimal forms, construction for 30, but all other tens digits have changed. And now we go on to 100. So we go to 100. Okay. I think I'm going to for the sake of like documenting the and Aaron, maybe you can check this for me, but I'm presuming that numerals is one place where mutations show up. So we're going to go with 100. Okay. One hundred. 102. And then, just for good measure, I will put a 200 here. Okay. So let's go up here. So let's get the 100 was key. Was S-K-I, ski, became key, key, okay. And then Oh, that's not. I was thinking that would be an adjective, but it won't because it's not aspirated. Okay, now let's go and jump here. Okay, so I don't need. Yeah, I don't need what I need to have. That's all that I need because actually, everything else should be derivable. So, hey, what? Whoa, okay. This is interesting. Hey, what's going on here? Okay. Oops. Chifath. Chifath. Interesting. So this ended up being not what I expected. Uh-huh. And then we're just gonna, as an example, we're gonna put 200 in here. So 200. I ski. Oh, okay. And then and that is just showing that there is no, this does not actually, what I'm showing here is there is no application of the lenition to the start of 200. If this was a single K, then we'd end up with hayahi, right? Actually, let me actually see what would what would it be if we'd done it that way? Then we right? We would end up with the lenition happening, but it doesn't happen because there's an initial geminate. 10,000. And then let's go 999. So we know what that would be here, right? However, chyba ki wifa ithisi kituifa I chyba, right? That was like 900 10 and 4/20s and 9. However, this is not going to be the same. We're going to have it's going to be ski Bebe Wipa. Everybody's got Bebe Wipa now. Bebe. We want to have and okay. Shiva, Shiva, Yifa, Shiva. Okay, I think we'll actually. Okay. We're not getting any lenition anyway. But, and what we should have enough information. And now let's just go and get these words for 1,000 and 10,000. And I can just note that Tifeu, so So diffé is going to trigger lenition, but will not. Diffé, diffé, diffé. Interesting. It's actually these end up being very similar. Wait, that's not right. Okay. Okay. Not really much has happened for 100 plus. The system is intact. It's just like you end up with um you do end up with this lenition mutation happening here. In some places, right? Okay. Well, that's great. We have gotten through all of the numerals, and I think that's everywhere that I would have morphological changes. I think next time we need to go through our constructions and see about what kinds of changes happened there. Um, did I ever actually make a choice? I don't know about these. I forgot to do negatives. So I think we need to go back and we'll do what negatives are here. And then we can, okay, we need to decide which dialects are VSO and SVO. And to what extent that happens. But other than that, I think just a little bit of talk about syntax is fine. I'm not as well versed in how syntax changes happen. So that's one limitation. We have done in verbs some like grammaticalization things that have caused there to be new verb affixes. Like we've got some verbal prefixes coming from the modals. Other than that, we're kind of cool. So I think that we will do a little bit of syntax work next week, and then after that, we will be ready to start with koineization. I need to read up on that. I need to think about, because one thing I was thinking about is it may not make sense to have all my honorifics in the koine because stuff I'm reading is like suggesting that like a lot of social categories get flattened during koineization simply because it's a compromised dialect, right? And if you are using certain forms as forms of respect, then actually you are not all that likely to be doing to be doing lots of honorifics. So let me export PDF notes for 2025 7/19. Let me go ahead and get the notes updated for you guys on Patreon. And get everything sorted. Why is it opening up a weird... Okay. And create a post. But that's... And let's get... How do I... Okay. Dialect differences in numerals. And how do I add a... attachments. Sylvan. Oh, gosh. Doing this thing again. File. Okay. Uh, I need to change my to-dos. That I am not following the to-do thing.
Dad, why do you have to have this long ass cord in here?
Maria, how many times do I have to tell you? It gives me better internet. I'm still streaming. Okay. And there you go. You guys can go access the notes. We've gone over by a few minutes, but everyone, thanks for watching this far, and happy conlanging.